Okay.
That's a good pick. Again, glue. So now you're going to be jumping on glue too. Slam, slam, pass, pass, split, split.
Yeah, it's gonna suck jumping into a sticky goo from the glue.
It's all about, for Dewa, it's all about illuminating the jungle and then playing the Badang, the Phobias, you know, as threats to each other. You go on the Phobias, the Badang goes on you. You go on the Badang, the Phobias goes on you. But again, with all this crowd control, is it too much? Can Dewa find a way to position to have a formation that cannot be comboed to oblivion by Evos?
Bars. But what I don't like though, the fact that right now, Evos has to say on when the team fight begins, and pretty much Dewa United is more of a responsive kind of draft with the Badang here against the Jawhead. But let's see though, maybe they can prove me wrong with maybe. Dewa United versus Evos Glory game number 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's going to get the dub? Evos, will they solidify that second place position in Season 15 before that Classic Derby? Or will Dewa drag them down to mid-table?
Let's see how this goes, man, especially in the side lanes. The mid trio are going to be aggressive. We know that for sure. I think Evos definitely have a bit of an edge. But on the side lanes, right? The glue, in theory, should be winning against the Phobias. Moscow Granger, maybe the Granger is the only lane that Dewa can kind of rely on consistently. That's the word we're looking for.
It looks consistent already. Airline already taking a lot of beating.
Whoa!
Getting knocked back to his position.
Bullets to the face. That's a Festival of Blood for maybe. He's going to be able to sustain on top of all of that. With the tenacity for both the Chushin and the Badang. So again, this is a team that understands that they are going to be brawling. Whereas for Evos, they want to be places faster and immediately the gank.
Yeah, forcing the flicker out already. This is classic. Whenever you're up against a Phobias, he's really quite free of a target to gank.
For sure, especially on a flicker, he has to burn it away. I would argue even if he uses a Vengeance, he will still go down. Yeah.
It's going to be a bit more difficult there, especially on level 2, right? Rez couldn't really do much right there. We're still waiting for the ultimate, but now that there's a bit of pressure onto Rez already, this means that Evos will also get a bit more prio when it comes to getting that level 4, right? To try and get the initial advantage in the turtle take. And actually Sway Low is zoning Octa quite well, and is turning into a bit more of a team match there in the mid lane. Everyone just throwing attacks at each other together.
Okay. Wes is constantly just pushing. Oh, he dashes away, forces him to eject the golem.
Now the objective fight begins. Look at where Ray is. He does not care about the objectives, but so far Dewa United, they still want to kind of delay it just a bit to be able to buy more time for Ray to take this one.
Classic Joy move. It's a trade. Turtle for orange buff on the other side of the map. Ray trying to keep up in level and ultimately win out that XP farming duel.
Oh, maybe it's on a flicker against a Jawhead. This is interesting. You can't really... I think you can go both ways. Oh, never mind. Watch out.
Yeah, he's angry. Definitely angry about the first column bait. So, flicker, ejector, unstoppable force into the stun of Sway Low. First blood for Evos.
Talk about gun boulder, Rashi.
I mean, where did he go? Deleted immediately, and you don't get to respawn, right? You're just done. The moment he gets his hands on you, you're just done. Yep. Just waiting for that black and white screen. So, now for Dewa, right? Knowing that that's the case, they can't really check so much. They're trying to do a bit more of a trade here, which is wise. They don't want to risk it going up against Evos, but maybe,
could be a kill. He's one last shot, but he doesn't have the ammo for the last detonata. Mueza, you can see vengeance in his eyes, but he won't be able to find that kill. He walks all the way back, close to the tier 2.
And again, with that power, with that laning prowess of maybe on the Granger, they could really be starting to move and trying to equalize the pressure on the EXP lane in the gold lane instead. That way they can get a good snowballing mid-game for maybe to try and carry. And in a sense, it also alleviates some of the pressure from Rez if they can force Evos to kind of respond.
Hey,
they're waiting for the dash.
Erland doesn't have Purify, but wow, good move from Evos, man. Just Key walking up, showing himself, stop that dive from happening.
And he didn't even go near Dewa's vicinity, so he knows that he is in threat of getting ganked at a time.
Look at the awareness from Mueza there. He suspects that Key is in there, dude. And he was right. Just like that, we're back to the waiting game. Back to the back and forth, a bit of a dance here. Man, it's always so scary when Evos have picks like this.
Oh man, Octa and Suelo going at it. Has the region, though. Suelo gonna win out that battle. He gonna be pinned down with a fist crack, but not long enough for them to combo together. Frigid Glacier. Oh, Rez gets knocked out of it. The Spear of Misery helped him. Now Reggie pinned down. He jumps on and mounts Rez, but the turtle will fall into the hands of Albert. Now, Lancer Flare, bring Reggie back one more time. And now Unstoppable Force. Mueza pinning him down. A long fight ejector. And Octa goes night-night. Erla with the SOD and the flicker forward up against Manny, who's able to flicker around to safety. Mueza pins him down. Rez gets the kill with the in full pursuit. Blade Surge over. Two man from Rez, Albert pin, and Rez gets a double.
My goodness, they're not stopping. Rez still goes in the passive rocks.
Pride of Ice, Mueza with a punch to the face of the Ice Queen.
My goodness, Evos should have backed down when they know they have the advantage. But no, they still want more. The greed of the Tigers killed them.
They were unwilling to let one of them get taken out right there for the greater good. And Dewa made him pay for it immediately. That long drawn-out fight that just allowed Rez so much more impact. Immediately, just like that, Evos, it was looking so good. Now it's back to equal. And in fact, this might be looking a bit worse because maybe he got a kill right there. And Rez got two. And we all know how Phobius looks when he gets ahead in the laning phase.
Look at Key. This could be really good or really bad.
Only Suelo.
Okay. Oh, he chooses neither. That's a good stun over to Octa. Maybe trying to poke him down. Suelo dodges from the second Death Sonata.
I think he wants to pull the trigger when his buddy Albert is on the vicinity, but he's not there with the burst early damage. So, not much of an option for Key right now. He's gonna play a bit more defensively or gonna be a bit more gun shy, not gun bold.
Right, for Dewa, though, now that with a Thunderbolt in the hands of Mueza, he's gonna have a bit more utility. So in the long chase like earlier, Evos has to be a bit more careful. They can win the short engages with the big combos. After those skills are down, they have to respect Dewa's chase potential and the way that they can continue the fight again and again with the Chushin, with the Phobius, and the Ranger. These are all heroes with quote-unquote spammable spells. They can spell Doom for them. Rez, going on Reggie.
Double jump from Rez, Frigid Glacier. Locking Mueza down. Lancer Flare come down as well. Look at Rez, who's on to Albert now with another fist. It's Ray who wins out the Retribution. Great displacement from Rez. He gets ejected, but he wants to go even further. Now another stack down in front of Pursuit ready, but he will not jump under that turret.
Goodness, Retribution is here again, and now Erlan still has the Spear of Misery.
Spear of Misery?
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 No, right.
The Misery.
That was some fancy movement from Rez though. He was jumping to a target and then immediately flickered as well, making it look like one fluid jump all the way towards Albert, I believe. That was a great setup. Again, Phobius, when you're ahead, you can do a lot of great things, and I think Dewa needs to use Rez and do great things right here. Because again, they're limited on the tools that they have, and Rez might be too tanky for Evos to burst down completely right now. So that could be their angle here, right? Use Rez as an unstoppable wall, and with that, they can kind of bully Key away from the vicinity until much, much later.
Is that a power spike, Erlan? Has he hit the... No, he's on his second item. All right, so still going to be quite a bit for him to land the item power spike.
Now it's a battle of Mueza and Key in the roaming area in the bushes. Look at Key though, he wants to go for this one. Does Ray spot it? Looks like you want to play it safe. Key.
Ejector, oh, still wants to force it. Key, I'm not too sure about that. Albert is though. They go for it, Ray with the regen. What a pick! The commitment from Key and Albert.
Hey, never mind about me saying gun shy. You can be gun bold whatever you want, Key. As long as Albert is there, he is ready to pop.
I mean, that gank did not work out. It got spotted. We saw Ray move away, and already it was such a weird angle, such a long distance covered by the unstoppable force. But that's the combo, man. Jawhead Suyo. You just don't move. You just get picked off. 1 second to the Lord is up, and still the control is for Evos in the jungle.
He's not gonna recall.
Of Dewa.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna recall. Ray, 2 for 2.
Hey, I said this before. This could be really good or really bad. It looks like it's going to be pretty good right now. Sway low, very low in the mid lane. Forced to recall, I believe. Meanwhile, Moscow in the bottom lane, clearing out that turret. Tier 1 should be falling, but the Lord is very low. SOD lands. Reggie with a split. There you go. Maybe it'll be caught. Still able to dash away though. Key unable to get the ejector in time. Albert with a retribution. Prison Glacier to save him. Albert, can he get away? No, he gets pinned down. Lueza gets the shot, but Moscow Airlines stays busy down below. It's a win for Evos.
They get what they want, and a half. In the bottom lane, it's completely empty. It's only inhibitor for the Evos, for the White Tigers to use. Even though they lose out on the purple buff, it's still overall a big W for Evos.
That was a multi-layered play from Evos, I feel. Because again, the fact that behind them was Key, the fact that Key was flanking, right? It made Evos, it made Dewa extra cautious about a flank, about an engage. Or instead, the Evo says, we don't want to engage. We want to buy time for the Moscow to push. We get the objective, we stop your rush using the Frigid Glacier, and you can do nothing as we win all across the board.
One thing about Kido, he has to take a page out of Weedy's book. You gotta read the flicker, you gotta read the dashes, because right now, maybe it's on a tough boot, so he can get away once the initial contact from the Unstoppable Force was made. You can flicker at that time and catch them off guard. That should have guaranteed a kill.
Certainly something that has to be paid attention to. Not for Evos though. They're gonna be just playing with the Lord, man. They want to play this macro style and avoid the staying in the lane, staying in the bushes to just take the poke coming in from Dewa United. So Dewa might have some urgency right here to try and make something happen. But that's just the problem. If they don't really make it work, then the Lord can become super valuable for Evos.
3K gold lead, so full gold lead has been turned around.
Despite Erlan not having a kill, despite Evos down 3 kills against 6 of Dewa United, somehow they win out on the macro battle courtesy of Albert with the retro. Never doubt this man. Doesn't matter which team he plays for.
Just really good red trees all across the board. Now Dewa, they're trying to solve the mind game as well. You know, when are they trying to actually fight? When are they actually trying to go for the split? I think for the most part, if they still have any snowballing potential, they have to try and really use it and fight fire with fire. Again, because Evos, when they are the ones pressured, when they're the ones on the back foot, they don't really play as cleanly, right? They need time like this to kind of plan up and set up for the next engagement. That's how they're able to get some really clean pickoffs here.
And now Moisa, I don't think he's gonna fall for the same trick twice. He will check every bushes available, even maybe with the Death Sonata as well. Moisa can check with a Thunderbelt stack for the first kill, and that should be key, being limited to half of his potential from before, because right now Dewa is always locked in despite Key, or like with the, you know, Key not being spotted out on the map.
Yeah. So usually on the Moskov, you would go for the Malefic Gun after the Wind of Nature. Erlan has completed the Wind of Nature. My question is, does he want to go Rose Gold, or again, go for the offensive route with the Malefic Gun?
I want to go with the Malefic Gun, considering all the ways that Dewa can kind of catch him and just trying to get too close to try and do damage. On the side of Dewa though, gotta be concerned for Rez. Oh, but look at this. Whoa!
Wait, Sway Low gets caught in the bush. Oh! Flickers are into the Lord. SOD lands. Erlan in the back now, maybe. Looking for the play. That's going to be with the nature. Flicker out on the pin down. Erlan! Big mistake, maybe. Gets a killing spree. Another stack on that Sky Piercer.
They took their eye off the map, and Suelo pays Erlan as well. This is the prime position for Dewa United. They can take this whenever they want. Just gotta zone out Albert. Just gotta watch out for this man, and that should be the Lord. Dewa United, right now they're turning the table.
That's a terrible turn of events for Evos, man. What happened there? Sway low. Or I guess the whole team mispredicted the positioning, the movement of Dewa, and they just met in the middle of the river. Suelo could not escape, no mobility tools. That's the exact scenario, the ideal miracle that Dewa required to get a decisive moment. Now with the Lord, they can get so many structures. They have good siege potential with the Granger.
Man, Erlan, I understand the Wind of Nature was picked up, but
two times
now. Both his deaths has kind of been on his terms.
Absolutely, for sure. The flicker plays, man. You gotta channel out the Rin's mentality there. Erlan gotta play his game.
Ray with the Divine Glaive. They're looking to go for the end with this play here. There's also a wave in the mid lane. That's gonna be the ejector. ready for keep. He already popping to conceal, but he's going way off now. Rez zoning them in the back now, as now Solid Force will be used up. Ray jumps in for the pursuit, but the Frigid Glacier will be able to stop just a little bit there. Octa taken down. Rez, does he go for it? The team gets quelled, and they have to back away down below, dealt with just by the turret. And somehow Evos keep all their turrets alive.
By a hair breadth, a single wave could change the turret status right now for Dewa United. They want to force it, because right now only Evos only has 3 guys defending and not much wave high ground potential.
One more time, Erland piercing through, still turret taken by Maybe. Mid lane, wave cleared, Evos. 1 base turret down, and that's the far lane.
Yep.
Amazing for Dewa.
That's the value, man. Just like that, now Dewa have a solution for Erlan. Evos can no longer claim dominance over the lane management game. With 60 seconds to go, Dewa with a gold advantage, with kills in the hands of Maybe, with stacks on his Sky Piercer. Now Evos gotta be a lot more careful. Earlier, as long as they don't get caught off guard, it's fine. But now, even when they are ready, they might lose out.
Maybe already built the War Axe, so a lot more sustainability, especially when he gets chased down or gap close with Erland flickering forward again.
Movement speed as well.
Watch out.
I think it's a great option right there. Because how the fights have been going, Maybe isn't just staying in the back untouched. He's been actively brawling, trying to deal with the potential outplay attempts of Key and Erlan.
But look at Key, shoes on the other foot. Fist crack, don't know if they want to fight here. Sway low, flickers forward, finds Ray, Frigid Glacier. Key gets the ejector. Stab time pass from Ray, even with Nature's right there. Now Ray is able to find the back with the electrifying beats. Albert can only go for the orange buff. Mueza with the conceal. This might be it for Evos.
2v4 wave is coming. Up top, can they end it? Maybe he's healthy, and now mid lane's gonna be crashed down by Dewa.
3 members down. No res. Ray walking up, electrifying beats. Immortality from Reggie, buys it in time, but he gets caught by Maybe. His bullets. Now it's Albert against the wall. He deals with the minion waves, but it's not enough. Dewa United with an upset victory as they take the Tigers down.
Just when you thought the momentum is on the Tiger side, the apostles of God's praise to the heaven, and the prayer is answered. What a game, what a turnaround. After they lose out in the first few minutes, they took it back from their hands.